Hi, everybody, and welcome to another walkthrough video from We're Just Two Sisters. I'm Claudia, and in honor of Mother's Day, I'm going to take you on a walkthrough of this beautiful little uh, journal that I call Buttons and Bows. And it is in honor of my mom, who was just an amazing seamstress. She made a lot of our clothes. She made tons of doll clothes and just all kinds of things. And I was never super good at sewing, but interestingly enough, I've learned later in life that sewing is not only very pleasurable, but it's also something that I'm better at than I thought I was. So let's take a walk through Buttons and Bows. This journal is a hardcover book. It is 6 3/4 by 5.5, and it has a relatively large spine. It's about 1.25 inches, as you can see. And it's just embellished with such really pretty, rich, feminine, charming things. And so I have embellished the front with quite a bit of appliques. The spine has an old vintage tape measure, a cloth tape measure, and then the back has the similar appliques. I've put this together with a piece of bias um, edging. I think it's blanket binding. And I sewed it all the way around both edges. And then on the ends, I've stitched these little buttons on both sides just to kind of finish it off. And I thought that gave it a really nice sewing finish. The ribbon itself, which is very soft, made of that really nice blanket binding cotton, is removable. So you can choose to use it or you can replace it with a ribbon of your choice. But let's take a little better look at the covers without the ribbon. Both the front and the back covers have this beautiful corner pocket with these sewn on buttons. And in the corner pockets are some little round tags. This one has safety pins and thread, and finished on the back as well. And that just tucks down into that side pocket. The illustration on this is a dress form on the front. And again, more of those really pretty appliques. I was fortunate enough to find a vintage box of sewing things in a thrift store several months ago. It was just a very old sewing box that just had remnants of wonderful things. And I've used so many of them in my journals recently. On the back cover, there's this little tag with the thread, pretty little rickrack and some edging, lace edging. And as you can see, it's very full. It also has quite a bit of lace. There are several pages that have lace edging that is sewn on, and I'll show you a little bit more about that as we go through the walkthrough. So on the very first page, and you might find that there's a few things that I need to tuck in. There are little spots here. Normally I would do that prior to my video, but I noticed there's a few things I had attached their belly bands, but had not attached the actual piece. So this is a really cool piece. The inside cover, as you can see, there's a sewn-in signature. There are 2 signatures in this journal. Each one of them has about 40 pages, so there's about 80 pages total. There's the center. Here are the 2 signatures. And it is sewn in and then glued to the spine, which is very, very sturdy. This one is really easy to turn. The pages open very flat. So this piece actually is a little folio. It has these really cool little snaps on the front. It has a pocket, which is a Clark Spool cotton advertisement with 2 little tags, keep calm and sew on. And then this cute little measuring tape tag. And as you saw a moment ago, this piece slides down into here. The little snaps, you have to kind of lift it up as you put it in there, but it goes in nicely and it's very easy to remove. On the inside of this one, is a little folio. And on one side, there's a little Singer Sewing Machine manual cover that I've just added to the front of some writing paper. So it just creates a little tablet for you to jot down things. On the inside of the folio are some pattern pieces. On this side, there's actually pattern paper that can just tuck right down into this flap. And then it closes with a little corner pocket on the back with a couple more little tags. There's a little tiny one with some pretty lace and a flower, and this one says "Sewing is Life." Sewing really is very therapeutic and very relaxing. I very much enjoy it. I'm not good at following patterns like dress, or clothes making patterns. I am a little more abstract than that. And so I really enjoy like quilting. I've made several quilts and actually made a quilt out of my mother's clothing that I gave to my daughter for Christmas. And also a little pillow that my other daughter received for Christmas. Here's a little pocket with a pattern cover. It has a really pretty little corner pocket on it with a scissors ad, as well as this lovely lady with her scissors. She kind of reminded me of my mom. So I put her in there. And this also has a pocket here that you could add something, pretty much anything would work in there that you could just slide down in here like that. And I will probably add something there before I actually list it in the Etsy shop, because I don't like for pockets to be empty. So that's just one that I missed. So I will add something there, and that will be a surprise. So there's lots of paper in here. There's craft paper that has stitching. There's my own coffee dyed, coffee stained and lace dyed, stencil dyed papers. There's some very plain paper. There's lots of room for journaling. It's okay to journal on this coffee dyed paper. It actually looks really pretty. Here's a really fun page. So this is a little pocket that says "My soul is fed with needle and thread." And I've added a little card here with buttons, and also a little card that is for bias tape quilt binding. I think this is actually the piece that I took off of the pink, the packaging for the pink binding. And as I said, a lot of those things that I was able to get in that box at the thrift store were very vintage. So here's a safety pin with a little piece of material that's hanging on the edge of the safety pin. Just looks really pretty and vintage. Lots of, again, journaling space. Here's a side pocket that's J.P. Coates. My mom used to have a J.P. Coates thread cabinet that she kept all of her thread in it. I always loved that cabinet. And I think she actually got it at an antique store. Here's a really cool old vintage advertisement with a Singer Sewing Machine journaling space on the back. And this one kind of hangs over the edge a little bit with that pretty gold twine. Here is a circle pocket that I made, and I'll take these out and show you what a circle pocket looks like in case you aren't familiar with them. Circle pocket is great because it holds, as you can see, so much stuff. So here's a circle pocket. It's made out of a circle and then folded a certain way. This pocket actually has some tape measuring and a lot of little sewing things. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pockets. And in the circle pocket, there's this really cool advertisement A lot of this is like from the 50s and which is the time frame that I, was born and grew up in 50s and 60s. Here's this just reminds me of like the clothing that my mom used to make for my sister and I, and we were so well dressed and nobody had dresses like ours because my mom made them, and we had matching doll clothes that she made as well. I was really into trolls more than dolls. I guess that says something about me, but my mom taught me how to make troll clothes out of felt pieces. So I used to make a lot of my own clothes for my little trolls. More journaling space, lots of really pretty craft paper that I thought just kind of gave it a sunny, kind of, clean and crisp feel. As you can see, a lot of the lace is sewn on. And here's an example of what it looks like. I've used a lot of different stitches. So here's the center of the first signature. There's a belly band here that holds this little notebook, and this is called Buttons and Bows. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to call my journal Buttons and Bows. My mom actually used to sing a little song about buttons and bows, and for the life of me, I can't remember it. But these are little aprons, and it really reminded me of the kinds of things that she enjoyed making, tea towels and aprons and things like that. When you open it up, it's got a lot of writing paper, and it's got a really pretty pocket there with a little card that says, the works with her hands with delight. She works with her hands with delight. It's a proverb. And then a gold compressed machine needles tag. She works with her hands with delight. It has a really pretty background there and a lovely doily. And then on the back of this piece, there's just some pretty floral paper, and with the rickrack and the lace on the top. And this piece slides down into this belly band and holds it nice and secure. And as you can see, I also have embellished the center strings, the sewing in of the signature, with these fun little round pieces. Just kind of finishes it off. Here's a really pretty page that, I've left a lot of the craft pages blank as well, thinking that you might like to embellish them yourself and make your own little things. Here's an altered paper clip with a little tassel on the end, a tiny little clothespin, and it has buttons and measuring yardstick, not yardstick, but you know what I mean, measuring tape measure. And that can just clip on anywhere that you like it. It could also hold something. And then with the little bulb clip at the top, then the little tassel can hang over the edge. More pattern paper with a lovely side pocket. She walks in Pastel Beauty, another kind of May Company was one of the places my mom loved to shop, but this is another thing that just reminded me of my mom. She just had so much class and grace and always dressed so nicely. Even when she was like ironing and cleaning house, she still looked really beautiful. And she loved to keep things nice for her family. And she also was an Avon lady, which I thought was super cool. Here's a really fun page. So I've taken this little page with the dress forms on it, and I hope you can see this okay, but I've actually decorated and embellished each little dress with lace and pearls and so forth. This pocket contains 2 tags. One of them is a little Singer sewing machine table tag with some really pretty little material there, and the other one is also a dial-a-stitch, which was a brand of machine where you just more similar to the ones we have today. I think super modern for that time period. More coffee dyed papers, and here's a page where I've just created what's called a swatch card, and just a piece of little pieces of material that I just fell in love with. And each one of them, quite frankly, just reminded me of maybe a dress that she had made for me. Isn't it funny how sometimes we see something or a pattern or of material or something, and it just reminds us of of childhood. Like, oh, I had a shirt that was made out of that material, or pajamas, or a little dress, even doll clothes. But so anyway, I've attached all these little swatches, and they're sewn on with the little buttons at the top. And again, more stencil dyed paper, craft paper. Here is the beginning, end of the first signature, beginning of the second signature. And I've left these blank just because I absolutely loved the illustrations. So here's the sewing machine. And again, here you'll see some nice lace on the side. In the center here, I have a bookmark. The bookmark is embellished with some little lilac gems, and this can be attached anywhere that you want. You can just open up a page and insert the bookmark wherever you might like it to be. For now, I will leave it here. And here's a side pocket that has some wonderful pink lace there with an advertisement for safety pins. And this is an actual cloth advertisement. And a side pocket pulls out this McCall's pattern. Journaling space on the back with some rickrack on the side that can just kind of hang over the side of your journal and give a little more texture. Here is a pocket that has several little spaces in it. I'll take them out to show you. So this is a 1, 2, 3 pocket with this pretty little polka dot material, homemade buttons that I've made. And in this pocket, I have this page out of an old sewing machine manual that tells you all the different pieces of your sewing machine. Here I have a vintage sewing machine that has this really nice brass little hanger there. Here's an ad for Singer Sewing Centers. That's a hard one to say. Singer Sewing Centers. And then here's a advertisement for fabric, for cloth. It's easy to do it yourself with Quadriga cloth. Probably not pronouncing that right, but anyway, all these little things fit wherever you would like them to fit. And as with all of the journals, all of these pieces are removable, and you can take them out and put them wherever you might like. Here's a fun little pocket that is a nylon by DuPont, about material, and has this little tag in it that's the Berkeley Company, when the call for Berkeley clerk and customer agree. And this is also about cloth. And this tag just goes down into this pocket. And then it has a side pocket with this beautiful dragonfly material. And it has hooks and eyes and thread and a little advertisement. And I like to put this right at the top because, again, when you close your journal, I love it when there's little things that hang over the top that just create more texture and design. And here we have a fun little pocket that it just is all kinds of little things, buttons and tape measures and thread and thimbles and scissors and yarn and string. And then in the pocket, I've attached this little card that's, again, an advertisement for Percale materials. And then I've attached some little swatches here. Excuse me. There is also some sheet music. And here's some really pretty craft paper that has some advertisements that I thought went really well. Just skirt binding and knitting. And here's the center of the second signature. I love this page. Again, here's the thread or the string that holds the binding together. Has these fun little doodads on the end. And then this is a piece where you basically unwrap this. And then this is just so much fun. It just opens as so. And then it opens again. And then it opens this way and this way and this way. So let's start from the inside and go out. So on the very inside is this little pocket that has this cute little printed pattern tag. Here's another pattern card. Here's some writing space. Here there's a corner pocket with, again, a little girl's dress. And when you fold this one in, and then you fold this one in, and over here there is a little binding there that you could actually put things in as well. I did not include anything in there, but you could definitely, as you can see, find something a little bit thinner here. But you could definitely add things and put them inside of the little pockets there. And I'm striking out on something small enough. Here we go. So as you can see, you could just add your own little touches there. And then this one closes this way. There's a lovely pocket here made from a piece of vintage cloth that has this little pattern tag. This one closes as so, this closes as so, and then this string simply just wraps around the little fastener and keeps that closed. I thought that was a really fun page. More really cool craft paper with thread and yarns and needles and even some yards of poppies. I love poppies. In fact, poppies was one of my mom's favorite flowers, and when I used to walk home from school, I would pick them for her from a field, and she always was so delighted with them and made me feel like I had just brought her a dozen roses when I picked, 3 or 4 little wild California poppies. And this was the song I was referring to, Mother's Love is Sunlight. The mother's love is true. This would make an absolutely beautiful Mother's Day gift. My apologies for being a little late on getting it finished, but it was kind of a labor of love, and I wanted to do it justice. So this is a lovely little pocket with an old vintage sewing machine, and I've taken these little tabs and attached them all together with a little bulb clip and some really pretty little yarn, and they say fabric, needles, and buttons. And those are able to just slide right down in that pocket, and then you have this fun little yarn that hangs off the top. Here's a pretty page with some lovely pink paper, and there's a pocket here that I've embellished the little dresses that were on the pattern, Mademoiselle pattern. And then I've also included this little tiny tablet here that you could write in, and it can just tuck right down into this pocket. More lovely lace. Here's a side pocket here, and this side pocket contains 2 things. Here is the edge of a pattern piece that was very vintage. And again, you can have the yellow just kind of hanging off the top. And then this beautiful card that talks about, again, fabrics. I thought this yarn or this lace here was so pretty. Just very whimsical and lovely. And here's another altered paper clip. It's corrugated cardboard, and I've attached a little needle threader and a ribbon and some button paper. And it has this pretty purple kind of whimsical thread or yarn that hangs off the side here. And here is the end, and this is the back cover. And on the back cover, I've actually attached with a clip this lovely tablet. So this comes right off. You can put this anywhere in your journal that you would like to. And I've left it kind of blank on the front because I just thought it was so pretty. It's sewn around the edges, as you can see. The back is also very pretty paper. And when you open it up, there's a tablet with graph paper. You could use it for drawing. You could use it for making notes, writing poetry, writing stories, remembering your childhood memories, writing about your mom. In this, there's this little Husqvarna card that is an old advertisement, as well as a Singer sewing machine manual cover that has a lot of writing paper. It's just tucked down into this fun little pocket, kind of your sewing manual tuck away. And then when you're finished, you can, again, attach it anywhere that you like. I liked it in the back, but you can put it wherever you might like. And all you do is just kind of line it up with the top and attach the clip and close it back up, and it stays very nicely. And then on the back, as you saw, there's the same beautiful appliques, fun little card with the buttons. And that is Buttons and Bows. And I hope very much that you have enjoyed it. It's one of my very favorites. In fact, I had to talk myself out of today when I was getting ready to make the video. I had to talk myself out of keeping it. It just really touches me, and I hope that it touches someone else as well. I mean, like I said, it might be a little bit too late for Mother's Day, but if you order it in the Etsy shop today, I could actually ship it tomorrow, which is Friday, and you would probably have it on Monday or Tuesday because my journals all go priority mail. So it's a possibility that you might have it by Monday, or maybe you just want to give it to your mom for a later Mother's Day present, or your daughter, or just a really dear friend, or perhaps that dear friend is you and you would like to have it for yourself. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. The Etsy shop is www.we'rejusttwosisters.etsy.com. That's We're Just Two Sisters with the number 2. There'll be a link in the video. So if you like the video, if you like our shop, please give us a like. It certainly helps. I hope you have a wonderful day and a super wonderful Mother's Day. Thanks again. Bye.